Yes.
Don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll.
Am I the troll?
Don't feed the troll.
I must be the troll. I look like a troll?
I look like a troll?
That's ironic.
Huh? Well, I'm just trying to talk to these protesters and find out why Trump is racist, but not one of them has been able to explain why.
Could it be because...
I would like to hear why Trump is racist other than the hearsay. I don't know. I was just told I'm not safe out here, so no offense, but I'm not going to eat your cookies.
You can have them.
So you don't like Donald Trump, ma'am? You like Donald Trump?
Walnuts and cranberries and white chocolate chip.
Well, because he doesn't hate you. Why does he hate you?
Why does Donald Trump hate this woman? A grab her by the pussy. B she is a woman. C Donald is a white male. D build a wall. The woman has called a lifeline.
You're fucking a white male! You're a white man!
No, I have done my research.
Bullshit! Bullshit! You're fucking a white male!
Correct answer is...
Because you're a woman? How does he hate women? What has he done that shows he hates women? He just put a woman as his top advisor. Have you ever heard of Kellyanne Conway? Do you know about his daughter Ivanka?
Turn around. Turn around. Everybody
Yeah, turn around. I want my message to be heard from everyone except those that are smarter than me.
Don't feed the troll.
This is a new one.
Don't feed the troll.
Don't feed the troll. Don't feed the troll. This is a new one. Hi, how are you?
Very much.
You guys InfoWars fans?
Well, we're here for the inauguration, so we're here for the new president.
Oh, man. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'll do the dirty work for you. I'll talk to these people. We'll try to find out why Trump is racist. I haven't figured it out yet. Still haven't heard one reason how Trump is racist.
His federal lawsuits when in housing.
What's that?
His federal lawsuits in housing.
You need people to explain everything to you.
Yeah, because why don't you know it yourself?
Can you not say it for you because you're not about law?
The funny thing is, if you knew who I was, you would have no idea what you're saying right now.
Wait,
Like,
so
why
the
is
whole
it my
bag
job
that
to explain to you things? Why can't you
No,
look it up
because
yourself?
here's the
Why
irony.
can't you find
Here's the
out?
irony. He's not racist. That's the irony. That's why you can't explain
you
it.
tell me why
That's
he's
why
not.
you can't explain it.
Yeah, I
No,
can't
here's the thing. You don't know the word irony.
You're the one making the
I
claim.
don't
Burden
know
of proof is on you guys.
Me?
So
I don't know Donald Trump. I'd
Wow,
love to.
what a
I'd
cool
love to
guy.
know Donald
Wow,
Trump.
you
That's a
like
fair
me.
point.
I
Hey, this man actually makes a fair point. I'll accept that point. That's the first fair
but
point
can you
I
tell
made.
That like really raises your credibility as a man speaking to me right now. Like I feel so humble talking to you because you're wearing a fucking Pepe sticker. Like
what's wrong with Pepe?
It stands for.
Yeah, we're
Are you guys offended by a cartoon frog?
Do you
I'm really triggered.
Yeah, I'm really triggered.
Yeah,
I see.
That's what it is.
I can tell. I'm capturing it all.
Thank you.
You're really getting
Hey, look.
my SJW ass.
But look, but hold on a second. You still haven't given one reason why you don't like Trump. You haven't said any
Dude,
policy.
how old are you?
What difference does that make? How old are you?
Like, why are you hassling two young girls? Like, what's your fucking problem?
Hold on. You're out here protesting Donald Trump. You have a message. You want people to hear it. And then when I'm having a conversation with you, trying to understand your message, you don't want to hear. You don't want to listen.
He supports the KKK.
Wrong.
He sexually assaulted
Wrong.
women.
Wrong.
Shut the fuck up and let me speak. Wait,
Prove it.
How are you wrong?
Prove it.
How am I
Prove it.
wrong?
Prove it.
You prove it.
Say the lawsuit. Tell me the lawsuit of Donald Trump where he sexually assaulted a woman. Name the lawsuit.
Do you know how
Name
sexual
one
assault is
lawsuit.
treated in the courts? Rapists get away every
You have no
fucking
lawsuits.
day.
All right, so you have no lawsuits. Can you name one instance where he's associated with the KKK?
Well, the fact that the David Duke like promoted him.
He disavowed David Duke 500 times.
Yeah, but the fact that David Duke supports him in the first place, that's a really big fucking
So
deal,
Donald
buddy.
Trump is supposed to be responsible for everyone in America all of a sudden.
I'm just saying.
And they all fell through. They all fell through. And they all fell through. They all fell through.
Confirmation bias.
That's what. Oh my God! This is perfect. They are having the confirmation bias right now.
Have you heard that when he was? I don't want your camera in my face. And
All right. Well, don't you have a message though?
Put your camera out of my face.
Well, why are you protesting then?
You do not have permission.
Why are you protesting?
Actually, I do have permission. Yeah, I don't need permission. You're on public property. You're on public property.
Make the ground shake.
So, how do you say that some people don't have privilege when you basically just said that trans people aren't valid? They're not a thing. They're just girls pretending to be boys or boys pretending to be girls.
Okay.
Oh, someone's excited. Okay.
It's biological, but gender is a completely different thing.
No, gender is not disconnected from sex. So.
It's not completely disconnected, but it's still a cultural thing. It's still from society. It's
Okay. No, it is not in the mind. Okay, you're not a man if you think you're a man. And I didn't say pretending, or if I did, I shouldn't have said pretending. Let me amend.
You said playing.
Okay, I said a boy who thinks he's a girl. That's the usual phraseology I use. Not playing. I usually say a boy who thinks he's a girl or a girl who thinks he's a boy, which is technically what we're talking about here. As far as the actual psychological issues at play, it used to be called gender dysphoria or gender identity disorder. Now they call it gender dysphoria. The idea that sex or gender are malleable is not true. Okay, and I'm not denying your humanity if you're a transgender person. I am saying that you are not the sex to which you claim to be. You're still a human being, and you're a human being with an issue that I wish you Godspeed in dealing with in whatever way you see fit. But if you are going to dictate to me that I'm supposed to pretend that men are women and women are men, no. My answer is no. I'm not going to modify basic biology because it threatens your subjective sense of what you are.
Okay, but you're still saying these kids should not be accepted because they don't really fit into either place. They can't just
I'm saying that the Boy Scouts have a standard. You must be a biological boy to be a Boy Scout. You have to be a boy to be a Boy Scout.
Where's that written though? Okay.
In the name Boy Scouts. Because this is a very because for all of human history, boy meant boy and girl meant girl. Boy did not mean girl. And if I call you a moose, are you suddenly a moose? Okay, if I redefine our terms. No, yes, that's right. Men and women are a completely different thing. This is true. Have you ever met a man or a woman? They're completely different.
Completely different thing. You can't just say you're a cat. It's not a thing. It's genders. It's not saying you're.
Okay, why is that? I don't understand. Why? Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, I won't ask you how old. I will ask you how old you are. Okay, because you're young enough that it's probably not insulting to ask you. So.
I'm 22, so I'm probably young and naive, right?
No. Why aren't you 60? Why aren't you 60?
Because it.
And why can't you identify as 60? What is the problem with you identifying as 60?
It's not the same as gender. You can't just.
You're right. Age is significantly less important than gender. You can't magically change your gender. You can't magically change your sex. You can't magically change your age.
You can still legally change it. People recognize.
You can't legally change your age, by the way.
Obviously, you can change your name, you can change your sex, you can change your identity.
Just because you can do things legally doesn't mean that they are correct biologically. You could do lots of things in the past that were incorrect biologically and correct legally. For a long period of time in the United States, sterilization of the mentally ill took place. That didn't make it okay. Skinner versus Oklahoma. Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote the decision.
So what specifically do you mean? What are you worried about, as you said, as a gay man? What is Trump going to do to you as a gay man?
Well, that was in reference to the upcoming June LA, LGBT march. But in reference to, today was the Not My President's Day march, and because many of us do agree. And if you're looking at all these protests that are happening, you see thousands and thousands. I look back at the inauguration day march. And they were expected to be 50 to 100,000 people in Los Angeles.
I want to be
750,000.
But I want to bring you back to the point that I asked about a couple of times. So Trump, I think, released a letter today saying that all the protections for gay workers in place, he's going to keep, late January, I guess, he's going to keep in place. So I often hear people say, I'm worried as a gay man about Trump, but what specifically does that mean? What are you worried about? What executive orders has he said he's going to put through that are going to hurt you as a gay man?
Mike Pence's thoughts are very well known in regards to the LGBT community, and there was an initial report where Trump...
Look, you threw this out there, so I think it's fair for me to press you.
Honestly, I feel like Trump isn't even the president either, and it's very well known in reference to, if you look at his cabinet, Trump's throwing a potential re-election. No, because he is on that platform to speak for said presidency. He's in Florida this past week and beginning a re-election campaign, while Mike Pence, as much as I disagree with the man, is actually doing presidential things and, overseas. He's meeting with you two, talking about,
Pence
the
was
AIDS.
the bad one, but now he's the good one?
You're twisting my words.
I'm not. You just said, and I'm trying to be fair with you. You just said that you don't think you're protesting Trump because you're afraid of what he's going to do, particularly, as you said, as a gay man. I asked you, what is he going to do to you as a gay man? Well, nothing really, but
no,
Mike Pence will, because Trump's not the real president.
My being gay is not the point of this. It was
you brought it
in
up.
reference to an upcoming protest. Yes, I did. You know,
okay.
I did. And if I was a woman, I'd mention how I was at, you know, the women's protest.
But you're not a woman. Let's get back to the point that you made. What are you talking about? Because there are gay people watching and they're thinking, holy smokes, what's Trump going to do to me? What's Trump going to do to you as a gay man? I mean, that's an honest question. What's the answer?
It's well known that there was potential legislation out there. There was a leaked report.
But he doesn't pass legislation.
And it was covered by
He's
the
not
media.
The Congress. And he put a letter out disputing.
There was a potential executive order, Tucker.
But he said, I'm not going to
Do you want to talk about the actual Not My President's Day protest, or are we just going to go off on a tangent on...
It's not a tangent, Shane. You brought
I made
it
an
up.
off-the-cuff remark about my being a gay man,
okay.
and I feel like I've been talking more about that than the actual protest itself. So if we want to get back to talking about the protest, I'm more than happy to.
I'm trying. Look, I asked you why you were protesting. You said there are a bunch of reasons. Here's one of them. I said, I hear this a lot from people who, of goodwill, who say, you know, I'm gay and I'm worried about President Trump. And you brought it up. And so I said, in what way?
But I also mentioned the tax day protests, and we seem to kind of want to pigeonhole away from Trump's taxes, which have still not been released. Still not been released. And I also mentioned that as one of the upcoming protests, and you're completely deviating. You're picking on one specific thing that I said.
I'm making the mistake of taking
I'm glad you find this funny, because I don't particularly.
Which I will never do again, I can promise you that. Shane, thanks a lot for joining us. I appreciate it.
Anyway, like any set of ideas, Islam is like a religion. As any set of ideas, it deserves to be scrutinized. Well, I have scrutinized it, and I have found it wanting. I have found it lacking. Everywhere there is Islam, you will find women oppressed. Everywhere there is Islam, you will find... You're wearing a hijab in the United States of America. What is wrong with you? You see, they want to shout you down by saying, oh, what about me? I'm not so oppressed. Well, let's move on from women. If you don't care about female genital mutilation, don't care about forced marriages, don't care about acid thrown in the faces of your Islamic sisters, if you don't care about any of those things, fine. Let's talk about gays instead. In 12 Islamic countries, I could be killed for my sexuality. Is that okay? 100 million people live in countries where it is illegal to be homosexual. All of those countries are Islamic. This is not an ISIS thing. You know, you will see gays being thrown off the roof in ISIS-controlled territories. But this has nothing to do with terrorism. This is mainstream Muslim culture. Your religion does it everywhere your religion exists. It is a threat, an existential threat to gay people. Everywhere in the world there is Islam, you will find women oppressed, homosexuals murdered, you will find gang rape. Now, there's a unique phenomenon that doesn't really exist outside of Islamic cultures, of familial gang rape, where fathers, brothers, and cousins go out raping people together. It happened in Rotherham in the UK. And the liberal establishment in the UK didn't investigate this because, according to a government report, not a far right-wing blog, according to a government report, 1,400 young girls were raped in racially or religiously, as you choose to define it, motivated crimes, because both the police and the authorities were too scared of being called racist to intervene. And this pattern repeats itself everywhere there is mass Muslim immigration. My suggestion to you, America, is that you don't need it here. Learn your lesson from 9/11. Learn your lesson from Orlando. These socially regressive, see, they walk out when they don't like the facts. These socially regressive attitudes, of Muslims in the West are horrifying. Absolutely horrifying. The surveys show that 52% of British Muslims think that my sex life should be made illegal. 39% of them. Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? Don't you want to talk about numbers? Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed of the hateful culture that surrounds your religion, that oppresses women and murders homosexuals and commits unspeakable acts of terrorism? Are you ashamed of it? Would you like to talk to us about why there's no global Muslim peace movement? Because I hear lots of very upset people at my talks complaining about statistics they can't refute. I don't hear a lot of Muslims standing up against terrorism.